These were very eccentric times, and these characters were not, bankers. They were people that lived their life on the edge, and their behavior sometimes is very, very irrational. And they smoked a lot and they drank a lot, all the time. And they painted a lot, and they lived a lot, and they loved a lot. And they did that with a lot of gusto and burning the candle on both ends. And that's why a lot of them just didn't make it. You always want a movie to have resonance to an audience when they walk out of the theater. They go, wow, and something that they can't put out of their mind. And then they speak to it. Speak to a friend about it, and you say, well, you really have to see this movie. I mean, that's what you would try to achieve, a movie with a resonance. But I think, Modigliani and the people the inner circle of the people because, you had the reality of some of the most extraordinary artists of this past century and centuries to come living in this one area in Paris. Not only creating on their own, but living their life with each other. A movie we have, Picasso and Modigliani and Utrillo, Soutine, Max Jacob, Jean Cocteau, Diego Rivera. And you also have the music of Satie and Debussy and Ravel, and all these people were existing, in Paris at that time, creating some of the most important work ever to be created, So it was kind of like a new Renaissance time period, the modernists and so forth. So it was an extraordinary time in history. And for those people to be gathering every day at the same cafe to reflect upon their work and the things that were going on and to feed off of each other. So that's what we're trying to capture, that sort of energy and eccentricity of who these people were, because they were ultimately very eccentric characters. It was a natural attraction to trying to live vicariously through him as an actor. And when I read the script and spoke to Mick Davis, I was aware of the character already. But when I met Mick and saw his passion and his dedication to this film and to this character, I just wanted to go on that journey. I felt honored that he would want me to do it. I feel he's a character that's really, as all characters are, above you, but Modigliani is in a sort of a league, for me, in a league of his own. So it's a great challenge for me, or I think for any actor, to try to aspire to the kind of person he was. He lived his life in a very tragically romantic way. And, and his wife, committed suicide shortly after his death, because she couldn't live without him, and she was pregnant with her child. So there's a certain despair and madness in that. I mean, there is, yes, a deep love, but also a deep despair and a certain madness to that kind of behavior, And these were not these people were not woven with middle of the road cloth, or threads. These were eccentric people living on the edge, And any character you play, you personalize the character, and you have 10 different actors. They play Modigliani, differently. Everyone will bring their own sense of personalization to the part, or whatever they see in the part. It's like, you have Hamlet and you have 100 Hamlets, and they all are different. You have the text, but so I bring everything that I am to him, and obviously there's a reason why I'm attracted to him, and there are things in the material that are very directly related to things that are very personal to me, and that's why I'm here, and I use those things in the interpretations of the part. Bucharest had been known for years as certain parts of it, the older parts of the city, as Little Paris. So we've been able to find some very interesting locations that we could, manipulate through some art direction, and we were able to build some streets in the studio. As sort of the neighborhood of the Rotonde, and some Montparnasse streets physically, you know, so that we could shoot on and put snow on, and we work with some great artists from Italy, Giantito and Stefano, who are great, you know, designers and builders and set decorators, and so the movie's really come surprisingly effective.